So the way that this is presented, because you understand the nature of a conflict, is going to be employed propaganda, even on both sides, right? One has better propaganda than the other. So if you pick a side that has the best propaganda, you're not wrong, right? But you're still being placated. So the issue that you could say is quantifiable enough to want to support the Pakistanis is because of cutting off of rivers that flow into their country is an act of war. You know what I mean? Blocking them from the majority of the water supply is actually a bad thing. So if you want to support them because of that, you wouldn't be wrong. Or if you want to support India because of, you know, the terrorism, like Pakistan did terrorism, right? This could all be coordinated. And even like, okay, so one extent you have a coordinated event, to the other extent you have a campaign of fear saying, we're going to do this, which would, you know, that's terrible. You can't do that, right? So is that the completion? Have we considered the cause of the crisis? Because if it was a demilitarized zone bureaucracy that they would favor, because it's just a way to generate a glut of slush funds without creating anything, without contributing any technology that's going to lessen the burden or the plight of mankind. We want to grow. Let's say that we want a tomato the size of my head. You know what I mean? Let's say that all those things are good. You want hominy as big as fucking horse's teeth. Okay, let's say that that's all. Let's grant it that that's a good thing. It's going to end hunger. Even that is not why. If this is premised on a no-fly zone and you just can't understand it, I have to take empathy, or I have to be empathetic with you, because you don't have a bad enough mind to even conceive of this plan. But I'm not going to grant that everybody is ignorant, because some people are not ignorant. They could be solipsistic, or they could be nescient, you know. You got to forgive the nescient, and you got to persecute the solipsism. I wonder where there's one example of solipsism being inappropriate. But maybe it's just so that you can grant arguments even if you don't believe them, so that you can do internal critique. So I have to be solipsistic in order to study aspects of occulted metaphysical information. I can't believe I said that. If everybody understood that the end game is a demilitarized zone and a no-fly zone, even though that seems like you're ignoring the fact that how could you deny the water? How could you dam the water? How could you go into a park and shoot people because they're not Muslim? Like, how could you do these things? These things are wrong. You must not do these things. True, people must not do those things. Those people who did those things will probably rot away in a prison, even though they may have affected something very convenient for the end game, which was a demilitarized zone. And I'm already a little bit predictively programmed to think fondly of a demilitarized zone, because I was an Eagles fan, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, right? I don't even have a think about it. I already voted. I voted with my cheers. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get that shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? Denied, you know what I mean? Get the ball. They're talking about the ball, you know? Like it's swat it down. Get that out of here. But no fly zone though. So should I be mad at the Eagles fans? Did they conspire to create a bureaucratic source of revenue for power brokers that think of things that we can't even, we don't even know why they would want that? We think of them more like the smash and grab brute force of their in-game being, that they wanted to do a bad thing because they're against happiness.